We are back. It's your man, Clubber D, the Combat G, and I got my man. You know him in the Himalayas. You know him down in Mexico. You know him in Brazil. You know him in Africa, and you know him over in Russia. Heavy on the poppy, light on the yayo. Poppy, tune, yayo. What's going on, man?
Oh, what's up, fam? Man, listen, it's gonna be a good one right here. I had we had a conversation about this a week prior, but we got what we got, right?
Yeah. I was super excited because you had Bud Crawford. This is their first fight on TNT. So I guess what they're doing is they're showcasing to the regular folks what the up and coming stars or whatever on TNT network cable, and then for the big fights, that's the way to promote the pay per view, get their pay per view numbers up. And I love the fact that they started with the youngest champion in boxing, the first time in 100 years somebody's defending their belt in Cleveland, Ohio, a big boxing town. They got lots of it's Jarrell Herring. He's from there. I think he's from there. Broner, he's from Cincinnati, I believe. But there's a lot of Boom Boom Mancini. There's a lot of boxing history in the state of Ohio. I'd say that. But we had the young lion Abdullah Mason making his first defense, and I'm just gonna say lackluster until the last round. Before we get in, what are your thoughts on the build up and how they put this card together?
Man, honestly, I I like the build up from, let's say, the boxer's point of view, right?
Right.
So obviously it's you're in a we need to save the card event so that
Hmm.
everybody can be taken care of, right? So for them to be able to go across town or across the state a little ways and grab that quality of an opponent to give to them, and then the way that they interacted with each other and man, I loved every piece of that. That was actually the highlight of it for me, because y'all know I be on you know I got beef with some of the DAZN dudes and the way they be
Yeah.
talking, and it just seemed like we can't get our respect from them, right? So,
Yeah.
the way that Mason and they acknowledge their history and stuff, I thought that was amazing. I loved
Hmm.
every piece of that, and then the production quality level was great as well, right? So for a long time, I had the feeling that things was trying to move towards Europe. You know what I mean? Like towards the Middle East. Like Turkey was, he really kind of took over. I
Hmm.
think he could finish it off if he wanted to because he got the money to. But he really took over, and for us to see TNT step up and do something that gives us some quality production,
Yes, sir.
man, that feel good for me for the boxing. So I appreciated the build up. I like what TNT did. I like the look and the setup, but I got some gripes and beefs that I'll talk about later.
And I believe they had 9,000 people in that arena,
Yep,
which is
nine thousand
great.
plus. Yep.
That's phenomenal because I you remember with Keyshawn Davis down in Norfolk, he had about what 10,000. He sold that out as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a sellout, but still having 9,000 people in that arena for a 135 pounder is phenomenal. So
Yeah.
shout out to Cleveland and the people. They were smart. They put like Tiger Johnson on the card.
Hmm.
They had him there. So they appealed to the locals and also Albert Bell. He was from Toledo, which I don't know if that's
Yep.
I don't know how far that is away, but Cleveland definitely showed up and showed out. So I'm very happy about that. And that's where I feel like boxing needs to start doing with having these not smaller, but just like more regional people instead of just taking it all overseas. Fight if you cannot sell out, the Cavs where the Cavs play. Find somewhere that can fit 8, 9, 10,000 people.
Yep.
Sell that out, build up, and get to somewhere like maybe fighting outside and where the Cleveland Guardians or Indians, where they're called nowadays. In a baseball field, something like that. We
Yeah.
could do that stuff they do over there. We could do it here, but we got to start, what they're doing. That's where I love to see. But my thing with Abdullah Mason, just to go from the production level, it was good to see Bud on there. I'm happy Tim Bradley's back on TV talking again about boxing because he can bring energy that a lot of ex fighters can't. Same with Sean Porter. Like they can bring a lot more energy. Bud, first time doing it, he was a little more of a slow draw, but he wasn't like a Keith Thurman, like I had told you on the chat. When Keith
Yeah.
Thurman tried doing that, he tried to sound sophisticated, witty, intelligent, and funny, and he just was corny in all aspects of corny. So I think Bud just needs to get a little more experience in doing that. I did like his input, and when they were arguing about the open scoring, I know you love that part when they're talking about should they have open scoring and I don't have
Man,
open scoring. I know you
hey,
love that.
listen, no, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep it a bean every time. I love the open scoring concept because you get to find out which judge is in the pocket, fam. What I don't like about it is like I think so we had breakdancing in the Olympics, right?
Right.
But they didn't represent breakdancing the way they were supposed to. Like they should have just let the people who created it run the show, and then they would have got a good show. So we didn't get a good experience from that. You get what I'm saying? Right. So
It's true.
on this side of the game, now, you know, like I don't know, man. Sean Porter is a great orator. Like he is actually really good at what he does. You know what I mean? He's great at explaining things. You may not agree with his opinions.
Right.
Same with Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley is great at explaining things in a way that he can make a common person understand what's going on. But if you got a civilian doing that and they don't really understand boxing, you get some clashing of the telling of what we're actually watching.
Ain't gonna work.
Like you get the clashing is terrible, right? So if you got a person who's leaning towards, let's say you're a hard right leaning person, right? Maybe the people who are in control of it are hard leaning right persons, and you're telling the fight to the fans like this person's losing, this person's losing, and the people actually judging the fight are like, oh no, buddy, he done connected 20 times. Y'all over here trying to tell some story about how bad this person is. And meanwhile, dude done connected 20 times. So the judge is like, I see the connection. I see what's happening, but his head's popping back like a Pez dispenser, as they say. Right? So now you got the judges are like, oh no, this fight, he won by 4 rounds. And the fans are like, boo, how is that possible? It's because they're telling a story that's not it just doesn't go with what we're actually watching.
Right.
And you got the real boxers that can do that, and they should let them do that. Like I can't believe that they had that level quality of boxer on the show and didn't let them create the story about what was happening around in the ring. You know, you want to maintain control, write the checks and let us go ahead and do the work. Write the check, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you people will come watch it if you just let us do what we got to do, because, man, dude he ain't no good at what he be doing, bro. I'm just going to keep it real.
We all know who we talk about.
Yeah.
We all know about Mr. Mannix. And that's the thing about painting a picture, because you got to look at it like this. When you get certain fighters, if you're not a knockout fighter, majority of the fans might watch it, might not watch it, because it's like watching defensive battle in football. A lot of people like offense. A lot of people like knockouts and things like that. If you can shut somebody down to where they can't do much against you, if it's explained the correct way, you can look like a god in the ring, okay? Like Guillermo Rigondeaux, when he would fight, the way he would shut somebody down with his defense, some would think it's boring. Others would be like, oh, this guy's put on a masterclass, you know? So it has to be portrayed in that way in the commentary realm, and some people just can't do it. And I feel like with this fight, they should have leaned in a lot more about Albert Bell being the ex-sparring partner of Abdullah Mason, and a lot of things that Mason was trying didn't work. I mean, you understand, this guy, Albert Bell, was feared at 130. A lot of people didn't want to fight him. Now he goes to 135, and then Abdullah Mason's going to fight him on 10 days' notice, somebody you're familiar with fighting with. And I'm not going to lie, the first, 5 rounds, I had Bell up. He was catching him. Every time Mason would try to come in, I did like the way he was dedicating to the body early, but he was catching him. And when this corner said, hey, you got to take him out in that 12th round, man, when he blitzed him, I said, oh, my God. But I just wish he would have went out on the shield or said them stopping it, okay? You know, like
no, that was foul, bro.
They stopped it. I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Are we overseas? Is this a Usyk versus Van Hooven? What's going on here? Like, that stoppage was terrible.
That was real. You know what they say? That stoppage was given, I don't want the home team to lose type vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, this needs to be a sport. Whoever wins, wins. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be, oh, you know, I'm a do X, Y, and Z to tilt it in such and such's favor. Man, the fight it happened like it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like we had 2 bad fighters fighting each other. Both of those guys are definitely, you know, I wouldn't say they're A-level fighters. I don't want to say that yet, because that would be taking some credit away from these people, but they definitely are close to it. You know, they're working their way to being that sort of fighter. And you gotta tell the story the right way. You got to do it, and you can't be having foul play in there, because it puts an asterisk on it. You know, like, I mean, dude, we've seen people hurt way worse.
Way worse. I mean,
And
look
they
at Mickey
they
Ward
wouldn't they
versus
wouldn't
Scotty.
stop it to save their life.
Yeah. So we literally talked about it when Du Bois fought Worley. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Worley's face looked like he looked like Slaw from the Goonies with blood coming out everywhere. And
If
that
he
fight was
dies,
still
he
going on.
dies.
Yeah, exactly. That big nugget, as you call it, that big cranium he got, man, Jesus Christ. Tell you, Star Trek Next Generation. But it's one of those weird things in boxing. They're like, okay, I know his brother's fought. Each of his brothers got knockouts, and y'all got to watch out for the Mason boys. They suffer one flaw, and we saw it kind of change a little bit out of Abdullah Mason. But please, if you do not have a personality, we need somebody speaking for you.
That's
Devin
right.
Haney does not have the biggest personality. His dad is there. People don't like it, but it is what it is. Daniel Dubois has no personality.
Oh man.
His sister, they have no person. They need that. You have, for every Brock Lesnar, there is an Al Heyman, somebody to speak for them on the mic or do something to get everybody into it. When he did that flip at the end of the fight, he's like, back up, back up, back up. And then that little flip, he might be an anime guy, okay? He might just be like a prototype nerd or whatever, a blur. That's fine. That's cool. And I win it. I love that. But in boxing, he needs to get a personality. And what's his name from the boxing voice? Dominican cat. He was talking about Vargas. How
I know you talk about.
Yeah. He said in the lead up to the fight last week that Vargas came in with the suit, and you can say what you say about him, but at least him and Mills brought a personality to the press conference. And you know what? I commend that, because boxing is a showmanship. Okay, yes, you got to do what you got to do in the ring, but outside the ring, we need to get Karen that's going to Wegmans on Monday to watch you. Okay, we need somebody to do something, and he's very respectful. It's not a knock against him, but if he's not going to be that dude, somebody in his camp has to be a little more braggadocious, because we had Mike Tyson had to say nothing. You just knew what he was all about. Same with Van Holyfield, people like that. But we kind of need some flashy people in his corner. I need a personality to do a lot. Please.
Name is Ness.
Ness. Yeah.
Ness. I think Ness. Yeah. So I mean, look. So but we're as a people, we are known for being the creatives, the ones who come up with styles and come up with stuff. Because Teofimo Lopez was doing that stuff, right? He was doing that. Yeah, he was doing that way back when, and then he was basically cosplaying us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It benefited him. He was cosplaying until the management got a hold of him. Was like, hey, look now, man, we need you to cut that hair and get that comb over together. You know what I'm saying? We need you to start saying X, Y, Z about such and such. I know you used to kick it with him, right, Xander? With them cornrows. I know you used to kick it with him tough, but if you want to make this money, man, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to do this thing. You can't be selling out. That's the other thing. So I think that if you have a Muslim fighter, a fighter that practice Islam, they practice that faith.
Yep.
I don't feel like they're allowed to have one of those type of personalities that's going to go out there and be braggadocious or talk heavy trash, your mama this, your mama that.
Because they're very respectful. They're very respectful.
They got a way about it.
Yeah.
And so we don't ask Norma Gomedov to come out here and act up. We don't ask him to do that. We don't ask Better Beeve to come out here and bring a merce to the press conference and sit it on top of the desk. You know what I'm saying? We don't ask them people to do those things. So I think like you said, you need a manager or somebody that could be your hype man.
Yep.
Let them do that, and you do your talking in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And our media needs to be okay with our fighters not having to act like a buffoon prior to getting the fight.
Yeah, because look at Andre Ward. No one really, because he brought that up in his spiel, like Andre Ward. Nobody was really checking for him until after the second Kovalev, going into the second Kovalev fight. And imagine, this man won a Super Six. Like Andre Ward was my guy right there. Paul said that was my my favorite fighters, pound for pound at that time. but he wasn't brash or whatever like a Mayweather or somebody like that. So not everybody was checking for him. So it's weird that it's like that for it's like you have to, one, put on in the ring, and then two, put on for the masses. You can't just go in there and do your job and people just follow you like that, because a lot of those guys you mentioned, like Beterbiev, Bivol, I think it's a cultural thing. I think it's more internal for our culture, because they're going to rock with them regardless. Right. They don't have to act like that. They're just going to rock with them regardless. You get somebody like Conor McGregor, if he was just normal Conor McGregor from Ireland, nobody would care. But when
Right.
he's brash and doing stuff that Mayweather does, he has moxie doing
Yeah.
that. Mayweather's just cocky,
Right.
because he has a complexion for protection. So that's the issue that tinted skin fighters have when it comes to this stuff. Where unless you're a certain style of fighter, like a Mike Tyson, or just Deontay Wilder, you don't have to have that big of a personality, because those KOs are your likes and comments, so to
Right.
say. So
Right.
that's. But Abdullah Mason, he need a cousin, somebody. He need somebody that's maybe not converted, somebody to talk for him.
But what is his? Oh, I'm trying to. No, I'm sorry. I think that was Tiger Johnson, who's the thing that he had on his back. I think it says something like, oh man, something to do with like the King of Pain or something like that. I can't.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? I can't.
yeah. It was something of like not massive destruction. I know what you're talking about. He had some
Yeah,
type of tattoo on his back, and I was like,
yeah. And I'm looking at that like, yo, who, who you hollering at for this marketing thing? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We can do better
hey,
than that. So have you ever noticed that when and we haven't done this in a while, and I think I
mhm,
might have messed up on a couple interviews, but usually I ask people what their nickname is,
yeah,
and how they got it, how they
mhm.
come, because that's an important story for fans to attach themselves to. You be like, oh, okay,
Oh,
so
100%, yeah.
like, so Peggy got Blood Panther. I think that's a cold,
Blood Panther,
you
that's
know,
fire,
right? That's like
fire.
some Marvel, Wakanda type shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and so these people gotta get their marketing skills together, man. Holler at a couple people. I
Hey,
mean, he did the anime. I mean, he did like the Power Rangers flip. I think he missed the landing, but we're gonna give him credit. You know what I'm
he
saying?
tried.
We're gonna
Abdullah,
say,
you tried. Hey,
you know,
speaking of that, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, we'll be interviewing Jeffrey the Fly U. So tune in for that. We'll be promoting that
yeah.
pretty
Speaking
soon.
of
But
that, yeah,
we got.
Jeffrey's a great interview. I
Oh yeah.
love Jeffrey, man. His whole mental, the way that he focuses, psychology and things like that. Some of
Mm-hmm.
the books that he has. Jeffrey's a good one to interview, and people should definitely take note from him. You know,
Jeffrey the Fry U. He's a
yeah,
fighter's fighter. You could talk to him about old school stuff, talk about new school stuff. You could break down. He's a walking promo too. Because when me and Josh from 86 Media Boxing, when we were at the gym talking to him and Coach Gustavo, he's doing promo after promo, talking about his fighter, talking about Slaughter Daughter, July 18th, Maryland Live. Come check us out with the mouthpiece in. And perfect,
yeah,
like just he finished sparring, they do some other stuff, and then promo. This man knocked the puncher back. He knocked it off the hook.
yeah. I see that.
No bull. He knocked it off the hook. I said, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I thought he was Captain America for some reason. But yeah, we'll be interviewing him tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So definitely tune in. But one more thing about Abdullah Mason. One thing, he's a very humble and nice kid, and I love the fact he's very respectful. Him and his brothers, they're all very respectful. I'm not a fan of I'll fight whatever at the end of a fight.
we
I
need
want I
names.
need names. I need hit him up. I need Tupac hit him up. I need you to I want okay, Lamont Roach and Zepeda are fighting on the first. I want the winner. We're both ready.
Right.
Or Raymond Mayatawa, I want him. You know what I'm saying? I want names, either say hey, I want to unify or whoever the number one contender. I don't know. I know he's being very respectful, but then like mentioned, we need that the cousin Roscoe who ain't converted to come over like, hey, we want this person. Now what? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what I want out of here in Abdullah Mason. But
Who do we have to blame for that though? Like, because I mean, so we know. Look, man. I one thing I hate to hear is when people say a fighter is scared
yeah,
to fight somebody else, because they fight, bro. Like that's what they like. If they wasn't competing in this sport and you was trying to get to Dollar General over there to get some of them sweets, you might have to see one of them before you get. You might have to see them on the way
Dollar
back
General.
after you already got them. You know what I'm saying? So you want them people to be fight. They're fighters. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't say that they're scared of each other. So what type of marketing, like who's telling them not to, hey, don't bring up this person's name, don't bring up that person's name, blah 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 blah. Who's telling them that?
I think it's like that skit I sent you, that AI joint, when it had like Raven Ford, it had Shakur, it had Keyshawn, it had Gary Russell, all of them talking.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, if I call out this person, you can't call out that person. Okay, well, if you do that, then I'll fight you, but I'll fight you at the end. I just won't fight you now. But if you fight him and then I fight that person, and then we can meet up maybe in 10 years, man, like, I'm sorry, like the saga going on with Keyshawn and him, or Keyshawn and Shakur and Haney. That's basically what you're talking about when it comes to like, oh, well, I mean, I'll fight you, but gotta be at that weight class. Okay, we agreed to that. All right, well, I just, man, what? Okay, I'm gonna go fight him at another weight class. Okay, and then that person say, okay, I'll fight you. I'm hurt. Like, man, what the fuck is going on, man? Y'all don't fight and shut the hell up. Jesus Christ.
That is delivering a very bad perception.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really bad perception associated with that, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, but still, I don't know. But look, let's say me and you we could make $10 million, each of us make $10 million, and we're best friends. Like, bro, I want you to get that 10 million. I want you to go be able to experience some stuff. So let's go do this. Like, you know
make
what I'm
money.
saying? Yeah, it's a sport again. So that's sometimes I have a lot of apprehension about whether I want to still call this a sport or not because of stuff like that.
And that leaves,
go ahead. It's just I don't know, man. I was born loving the sport, and I don't want to ever think it's WWE.
Yeah,
I just don't.
And the ironic part of what you said was that's why you have Zuffa, who is in ties with WWE, coming in because they're tired of seeing that stuff, and they want the fighters to fight, and it's sad that we have to mess it up to let another organization try and take over, because you look at we just saw Boots become a 2-division champion, unified 154-pound champion. Now he wants to fight Fundora. Fundora turns around and goes, I want to fight my mandatory who's a nobody. What? That is the problem with boxing. Like you're going to fight a nobody, that's someone that's your mandatory that nobody wants to see you fight. Boots is right here. That's a money fight. But do like you did Xander Zayas, give up the belt. That's how Xander became champion. Terrence Crawford wanted to fight you, gave up that belt and didn't want to fight him. So now one of you guys would have been, a 3-belt champion at 154, but you choose to fight your mandatory, who you can skip to fight if you're unifying the belt. So I don't want to hear that mess. People saying that's a mandatory. You can't skip that fighter. But that's the problem with boxing we got. The shit what Fundora is doing,
Yeah, but I mean, I can tell you what happened. I think what happened was like, hey, see, this dude was the face of Puerto Rico. Didn't we told his motherfucker not to go fight that Negro. We told him not to go fight. He said, no, he wanted to be tough. He gonna go over there and try to go. He got all. We gonna tell him what happened.
Yep.
We took that belt off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, certain sets of cultures are gonna stick together no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I promise you, if that sort of thing had happened on this side of the house, it'll be a real problem. For real. Like that wouldn't even be, you couldn't even squeeze in the crack of nothing.
No, you couldn't do that.
You wouldn't be able to squeeze in and talk about your fighters better than this fighter. No, ain't no way in hell.
Not at all. We hear that mess. That's hogwash. And
yeah, ain't no way in hell.
And speaking of hogwash, the fans were happy with that Sushu fight until about the 9th or 10th round when I got hit upside the back of his head. And this fight was WBC. That's how weird it is. WBC, they allow open scoring in some states. Ohio, I guess, is one of them. The only reason you guys didn't hear that in the Dula Mesa fight because that was a WBO belt, so different sanctioning bodies, whatever. But I think it's after the 4th, 8th, and is it 12th? No, not 12th. Obviously not 12th. But is it just the 4th and 8th, or is it?
I know. I heard it in the 8th.
Yeah,
in the middle of the round.
So, and Jimmy Lennon, the first time he was like, people, hello, and they had like audio issues. The commentators were talking about that. They need to fix that open scoring. I would say just flash it on the thing, and say, hey, would you like to see the scoring look up or something, instead of just announcing it loudly to everybody. It's just kind of weird. It's like somebody just let their car on, they parked in the wrong spot, like in front of the building or something like that. Like you got a PA announce that, but you could hear the scoring. And I'm actually I was a little angry with Shushu because coming off the way he won the belt, I thought I'd get a better performance out of him, and he was on cruise control, and I don't think it's the open scoring because you can't just be on cruise control because you still can get caught. Like he got caught, even though it's back of the head. Yeah, and he got that crucial body shot in the 11th, which almost had him take the Heisman, to him take the knee. He was like, "Hook!" Hit that chicken McNugget. I don't know. I'm a fan of the open scoring for the people at home. Maybe if they just flash it on the screen, but going back to Shushu, I was not impressed with his performance at all. I was a little taken aback by it. How'd you feel about his fight?
Imagine you running a 100-meter dash on the world stage, and at about, it usually ended about somewhere around 10 seconds, and about 7 seconds in, somebody say, "Hey, lane 7, you're back 2 meters. You have no shot at winning unless the main guy trips and falls before the finish line." Right? That's what I was like, man. The only reason for him to do that was to make that actual thing look like it shouldn't belong there.
Yeah.
Right. But it does belong. There's just a better way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And they should do it the better way instead of trying to make it look like a bad idea. Because when you're feeding the fans that bad idea stuff, then us realists over here who see what's going on, we got to argue with them. And it takes away from what we're trying to do over here. You get what I mean?
Motherfuckers don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but look, man, again, it goes back. It typically, for me, goes back to the commentary, right? They just wasn't giving Buddy the credit he deserved for cracking my man. Because, man, I was like, he got some fast hands. Oh, his countering skills is crazy. Okay, so he's leaning back and make Buddy reach it. He's teaching him when he's reaching, right? They didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about the ring IQ of the boxer. So that's one thing I loved about UFC, because they would explain to you what the person was doing and talk about how the person could possibly get out of it. Right. Like, you don't get that sort of conversation when you got a civilian who never boxes and has, somebody's pubic hairs installed on his forehead to make it look like he got a full head of hair, right? You don't get that type of commentary from that person, because they're not experienced in it. They got other people's sack hair installed on the front of their head to make it like they got a full front. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, that's why we need that. I would love to have a Sean Porter versus Terrence Crawford conversation about what the fighters are doing, because we saw Crawford and we saw them two fight each other, and to get the perspective of what's happening in the ring from some people who were in the ring against each other. That's a winning formula. And pay me for that. That's free game for y'all. Pay me for that.
And we saw that in similar to the last fight, the main event with Abdullah Mason and Sean Porter Bud fight, when they're like, "Hey, you're down," or you got to take him out. And what did Bud do? What did Abdullah Mason do? Took them out. So and I agree, because like in the UFC, if a person, like if the fight goes to the ground, they'll talk about ways to get out of this hold or whatever. Or if they're standing up and it's like, why is this fighter focusing on the calf kicks? Because this person's heavy on his front foot, and that will neutralize his boxing, if you take his lead leg out. So they kind of do that. Man, Sergio Mora will sometimes do it, but it's very rare that he'll do it. It has to be very egregious. Or I like his commentary sometimes. I think I think he just falls into the whole "I'm with a jackass, so I gotta, lower my IQ." But I feel like if Mora likes the fighter, he'll get more in depth with what he needs to do to kind of get out of a bad situation, or what type of tactics he needs to do to better that fighter or counter him. But it was kind of dull last night. Only thing that was good was when they were arguing, going back and forth about open scoring opposed to no open scoring, and you got to hear the fighter's point of view. They didn't even talk about the round at all. They was going back and forth with Bud and Sean Porter and Bradley.
There's another perfect example right here. Dude got hit behind the head, and that's a foul in boxing. You punch somebody behind the head and you hurt them, you could kill. There's a boxer that ended up in a wheelchair because he got punched behind the head one time. Understand that. So if you punch somebody behind the head, that is an illegal move. If you hurt them and drop them, they could maybe not regain their equilibrium.
That's right.
And the whole fight, you're advocating that should be considered a knockdown. Who's telling you to say this stuff? You can't possibly believe that you fouling somebody and knocking them down is something that you should be pushed, that should count as a knockdown, and you push that out to the public, and then Sean Porter corrects you at the end of the fight to remind you, because he's a boxer, that you don't want to get hit behind the head. You know what I mean? There's some situations where boxers can duck away or duck into a shot that goes behind the head, right?
Right.
So the official is supposed to be able to determine what that movement was and if that's what would happen. But you just punching somebody behind the head and them falling, that's a foul. And that person should have some time to recover so that he can get back to a level playing field, like getting punched in the sack. You get 5 minutes. But, that rarely happens, but you can get that. You know what I mean? So, like, I hated that. I hated to see that. And I'm going to just call it out. This ain't, hey, y'all, this is what I'm saying. This ain't got nothing to do with Dion. All right? But it ain't got nothing to do with him. This is what I'm saying. When I have seen DAZN and Mannix and Mora and the Latin lady, when they had to cover a primarily black card, they have a different sort of energy.
That's
when
true.
They're just describing things, they slip in some slick comments here and there that shouldn't be allowed to go. And they kind of, they just the event is off a little bit. Maybe the music is down and you can't hear it. Maybe a mic or something don't work. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not giving the 100% A game effort that they would give if it was somebody that they really wanted to see. You get what I'm saying?
So that's
why I think. Yeah, I think that's why there leaves room inside of this media thing for them to take some black former champion boxers and allow them to be the commentary behind the event that's covering a primarily black card, so that we can get what we need to get, because you guys are shorting us at this moment, and it makes it look like America's boxing is bogus and everybody else in the world is up here when we whooping everybody's ass. So give us what we earn, give us what we deserve and what we earn. That's all we saying, man. You know what I'm saying? We see everything.
I agree with that, because you got to look at to production level, and they one thing I will say is that the ring walks, that was pretty cool how they did that.
Oh, that was dope.
I don't know if it was on purpose to show Abdullah Mason walk up and then cut away and then cut back again. I'm not gonna lie, when they had the mascots come out for Abdullah Mason, I was hoping it'd be like, one of the basketball players or somebody from the Cavaliers take the mask off and then get the crowd hype. As far as the production value, it looked like a big black light in there. Did you notice that? It looked like Nas, Nas and DMX were walking into the club in Belly. It just all the whole black light, and looking at the crowd, it was a lot of brothers and sisters up in there, which was just dope. But I was wondering, how come they had all those empty seats in the front? Like the media.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice that?
It's bad for production.
Yeah, like why is there so many like empty, where did stars not show up? Like, what is the reason why all those black leather seats, there wasn't that many people there? I was wondering what was missing with that. But
I thought I saw some vampires in there, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was like, dude, that dude got glasses on? No, I see some black dudes with white eyes. I was like, oh, what's going on? Bro, I promise you, if y'all go back and look, you're going to see a black dude. I think he had like all white hair, like he had a white beard, but he looked like he should have been off the Brooklyn Vampire movie with Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
It's a werewolf.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, I was like, oh, that's crazy.
That's a classic movie, too. People need to check that out, man.
Yeah.
Pops for the Wayans was in that hilarious part. He had that movie. So Shushu, he got his belt now. He's told him he'll probably unify. So I'm happy that he'll actually name the names. If he goes in with that game plan against Inouye, he got to change some stuff up, because that's not gonna bode well for him if he does that. I need that old Shushu if you're gonna fight the monster. That's if that fight ever happens. But I want to see him unify at 126. That'd be perfect. I think who fought for him was it Tiger Johnson against Guerrero, who's from Mexican descent but from Canada. I don't know if Tiger Johnson was just cruise control, but he didn't start jabbing until like the 7th round and really standing on his hits.
Yeah, so Tiger, I believe Tiger, I don't know if that's like his first or second fight. I think that fight was at 147. I think
this is his second fight, because first one he knocked dude out.
Yeah, so he hasn't actually filled into. He don't have a 147 body just yet.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I think what I saw from him, to me, it felt like he was just trying to, get comfortable with the power, or get comfortable with Buddy Pop or whatever. But he was the faster, sharper, quicker man, and you could tell that he was levels above old boy. You just kind of wish that he would have shifted through the gears, because he let a 4 or 5 piece combo off, and all of them joints would hit, and then he'd just kind of step back and then kind of look a little more, and then it'll be like a whole minute and a half later before you seen another combo like that. It's like you just kind of wish that you would have saw him kind of go through just go ahead and get him up out of there.
Yeah, that's
but he didn't get him up out of there, but he didn't take any risk. He didn't take a lot of risk going in.
And that's what we wanted as boxing fans when they're showcasing you at home like this, because he's from Cleveland. Like, this is his family and friends up in there. And it's great that he could fight as a pro there. But, it's just for me, when he started standing on his punches or sitting on his punches, it's a 10-round fight, and you start doing that in round 7. I'm like, oh, I want to see that around like 3, man. Like you're clearly, like you say, he was piecing him up, stepped back, looking at his work, and then going back in, felt his power, and then okay, I could deal with this. I just feel like sometimes when they try to showcase these fighters at home or just in general on TV, this is TNT, so they want someone to be like flipping channels, like, okay, I'm not going to watch the World Cup. There's boxing on. Oh, cool. They might want a technical fight, but they want to see some action. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this was an opportunity. If people tuned in probably at the round 6, they were probably, like, oh snap. But if you tune in the first few rounds, you're like, why is this guy playing with him? Balls. Why is he playing with his food? You know what I'm saying? I thought Tiger Johnson was gonna get him out there a lot sooner. But the post-fight interview, I know they weren't ready for people cursing. So, I know they weren't ready for that on live TV, but we all, if you don't know, he got into it with Devin Haney's crew. I don't know the origin of the beef, but they jumped him in New York. Yeah,
they did him bad,
feet, and just everything up on him. So he wants to fight Haney at 147, and I don't want to see that right now.
But see, there's more shenanigans.
Yeah,
shenanigans. So do we have to have the shenanigans? Do we need it? You know what I'm saying? Is that something? Because man, I promise you, it got us looking some type of way out here in these streets.
They do.
Do we need that for entertainment purposes, or can we just respect it as a sport, just to know that we're actually going to get the best match? Because like you're right, man. I got to go back to that. You mentioned people flipping through the TV channels, right? That's important, because me and you both are old enough to remember when PBC started. And the fights that we got out of them, those were some cold. I mean, they was 50-50 fights. Porter, Thurman, Garcia, Porter, right? Those are some cold fights. So that's the stuff that that got us interested and got us excited about watching fights from the PBC. We want to see that at TNT. You know what I'm saying? We want to see a phenom get on there, step on the gas, and smash it out, because then you'll have people stopping, and the eyes is gonna go there. That's what you want.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, I think the production was, aside from those things that I mentioned before, was pretty damn good. The walkout entrances that rivals the DAZN ones, because when I went to the Boots fight up in Philly, they had a similar setup where they could put smoke over there, and they can make those the little entry lights. You can make them whatever you want to make it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can come up with. And I think that's a good idea, So going forward, I really wish they would just let us do our thing, when it comes to the entertainment side of it, and the movie making aspect of it. I just wish they would let us do our thing so that we can go ahead and shine, man.
Well, they did have damn, I forgot his name. I had it perfect. The rapper to bring out Tiger Johnson.
Oh,
and, I don't know who, some local Cleveland cat, and
Machine Gun Kelly.
No,
I see Machine Gun Kelly in there somewhere.
He was there?
Yeah, I think it was him. I think I seen Machine. One of them was in the locker room.
It was some brother with dreadlocks. He looked like Fat Trail, who's from DC. But
okay, you talk about the other one then.
Yeah, and I think you said Grease was the outfit inspired for Tiger Johnson's attire walking to the ring.
Yeah.
with the whole sleeve with the
Man. A grease lightning. Go, 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 grease lightning. Grease lightning, go, grease lightning. Bro, come on, man. You came out with the John Travolta sleeveless leather jacket on like you was the Fonz. You know what I'm saying?
I
Come
thought homie
on,
was an
man.
extra on Bad for a second. I thought he was about
Yeah.
to tell Michael Jackson, "Yo, buddy's
So
mine."
look, man,
Pause.
if he had came out like on the Shaft type theory, you know what I'm saying, a Shaft thing, you know what I'm saying, we might have been like, oh, okay, I see what the little fella doing. You know what I'm saying?
I would have loved that. I mean, shout out to Jordan Roach, Lamont Roach's brother who fights. You know, he be coming out with his nickname's the Iceman, so he comes out with themed, stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, his last fight, I said, okay, you got the black on black ice. I see what you're doing there. But I wasn't sure what Tiger Johnson was doing with that. And as far as production wise, thinking about it, we'll be able to measure this production opposed to Cepeda versus Lamont Roach August 1st, because that's going to be on TNT as well. TNT The Zone. So that's going to be a one. It might be a little more production. Well, no, there's still a title fight, but two bigger names, I guess. But it should be that shouldn't be a bad production right there for that one. So we'll kind of be able to kind of gauge and kind of see how they're going to do that moving forward with a lot of these.
Oh, you know what they're gonna do? Man, Cepedas, they do. Y'all forget about what happened with last person he fought.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have to deal with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? People are out here really trying to get their lick back. You know what I mean? Like all that is done, y'all. Ain't no more lick backs.
It's over with. It's over with.
No more lick backs. Y'all are managing this thing poorly.
y'all miss your mark. You got a few, and that was about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen no more. And what's his name? The brother with the afro, Sims.
Anthony Sims?
Anthony Sims. He had a great video talking about the new age boxers, the old school boxers. That's gonna be a good segue into Derek Scooter Davis, who my brother's name is Derek, and the way he spells his is like I've never in my life seen somebody spell it like that. But Sims was just basically like these new age boxers are worried about this, how I look,
Yeah.
And it's not translating over to what we see in the ring.
Right.
I'm a big Scooter Davis fan. It's a local guy. You know what I'm saying? And I wish nothing for the best for him. But this is probably the most, besides Abdullah, my fandom for Abdullah Mason. This fight, I was telling people, check out Scooter Davis. This is my guy. And I'm getting text messages, man, your guy's getting whooped. I said, man, no, he's not. The dude just fighting back. He just, he might be taking him lightly. You know what I'm saying? This fight was a lot closer than I thought. I had close to a draw or just Scooter winning, by one or two. Some of these judges had a little different, but I don't know if it can't be the lights, lights on you, you're on national TV. I know it could be that for Scooter Davis, but I was expecting a lot better performance out of him. He got the win, but I was expecting a lot more.
See, that goes back to what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I know this will go against natural instinct for a lot of people. Maybe watch the fight on mute.
Yeah.
Watch it on mute whereas you're not in a relaxed state and you're taking in garbage information and because you are getting gaslighted in a bad way. Like these people are telling you something that's happening that really is not happening. Like a person has caught a whole 5-piece combo to the face and they was over here talking about why the other guy was better than some fighter that he's not even fighting right now. And he's getting pieced up and they're telling another story and you're not putting the two together. You're not putting together that the boy's losing. And what happened is okay, we see a fighter that's 17-4, and then you got another brother that's 11-0 with 10 knockouts. You expecting him to start 17-4.
Oh yeah, take him out.
You go on Box Rec and you like, oh, okay, I'm gonna pick this dude to start him by round 3, right? And then you get in the ring. I mean, you get there, you get to watching the fight, and you like, oh, this dude actually, he's skilled. Okay, he fights a little bit like so and such. I think they said Sandor Martin because Sandor Martin went to work on Mikey Garcia. I remember that.
Sure did.
He went to work on him. You know what I'm saying? And so this dude was sparring with a world champion level fighter who's teaching them the ins and outs. and he's bringing that to the ring. But the commentary, they're not telling you this backstory of how this person got to be this good. So we're, like I said, we're expecting the starching, and all of this is because you're not giving the other fighter their just due, their credit.
Right.
If they're not doing that, it's painting a horrible picture. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm glad Scooter got that adversary.
He needed it.
He got it. He got some adversity like a mug, because old boy really was sharp, bro. He was sharp. It looked like, you know, I don't want to say he lost IQ battle, but dude has some fast hands, man. He has some fast, and them left hooks from the backside. Pause. They was getting there in a hurry. And you know what I mean? I was like, so I wanted to give him credit for having an amazing chin. Because I've seen people fall from far less, and he was putting he put some zip on them things, bro. So shout out to Scooter for having you know, that adversity right now, and that's going to be good for him, because he's going to have to dog it out with some other fighters, but he might not have the home field advantage. He might be in somebody else's backyard.
You got to do what O'Shaquie did. You got to do what O'Shaquie did.
Yeah,
like when O'Shaquie fought in that ring when O'Shaquie fought in Mexico in that ring as big as a BKFC ring, you know. Also Trout, we'll get to you in a second. You know, that's what you got to do in those situations when you're in enemy territory. They're gonna get you behind enemy lines, and you will have no dog in a fight. You'll have no friend with you. Those judges won't like you, so you got to knock them out. And I think with Scooter Davis, he was doing his thing, but he wasn't expecting. Okay, I just gave him a 4 or 5 piece combo, and then let me back up, pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't expecting that. And dude took his punches, and then gave back that same ammunition. And that's where I say, you know, the fight was a lot closer than what the judges had. I had Scooter winning, possibly a draw if they're being generous, but it wasn't the performance that I expected. And I think the commentators need to be more, like you said, do a backstory. Explain why this person's so skilled, instead of, oh, well, Scooter Davis needs to knock him out. Oh, Scooter Davis needs to do this. Instead of acting like that, making it look like you're frowning on his performance, explain, no, this guy he's fighting is not a bum. He's not a scrub. Right. This guy actually is well-trained. So Scooter Davis is in an actual real dogfight right now, opposed to this person's outperforming their expectations. But you know, all in all, it was a decent, you know, first time on TNT card. Definitely we'll check out the Cepeda versus Lamont Roach. And please, if it's another draw, I swear, if it's another draw, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just I might cry. But yeah, that'd be August 1st. That's actually my brother's birthday. So August 1st on TNT, we'll be talking about that fight too. I brought up Austin Trout. Did you see the BKFC fight, Austin Trout, on Friday?
I didn't. I saw his first one, but I didn't see this last one. I mean, but Trout is a vet. He's you know, he can go right now. He can get in the boxing ring and take somebody you think should starch him the distance, because he has some skills. And I'm sure that he did well, even though I didn't see the fight. I'm sure he did well because he knows what he's doing.
He did not, actually.
He
he's a champion. Don't get me wrong. He's a champion. However, dude, he fought from England, came out first. I love the interest because Austin Trout it was in Philly, packed crowd, big packed crowd in Philly. They sell out there. He has somebody dressed up like James Brown doing the Rocky Coming to America joint, all right, with the wig on and everything. Austin Trout looking like Apollo Creed coming to the ring. Now, I dressed up for that for Halloween a couple years ago, which is hilarious. However, Apollo Creed did not win that fight.
That's right.
He died that fight when he fought Drago. Right. The first round, Austin Trout gets knocked down. I mean, poop, one of those. I'm like, oh, shit. Second round, Austin Trout is out cold, putting up gang signs on the ground. Out.
He didn't get off on old boy?
Oh, no. He got hit with an overhead, a duck overhead. Austin Trout went, I thought it was Tua Vagaloa from the Dolphins getting a concussion.
Oh, man.
Austin Trout went out bad. So, brothers, hear me out there. Do not dress like Apollo Creed, okay? Was that Rocky 4? I'm not sure about Rockies. Do not dress like Apollo Creed fighting Drago. Don't do it no more, all right? No more James Brown coming to America. I live in America. None of that. Brothers, do not dress like Apollo Creed coming to the ring because it will backfire. Remember, he didn't win that fight. Just saying, don't do it.
Damn, bro. So
Shout out to Austin Trout. Shout out to serious spitting. Shout out to Austin Trout. That's my guy.
listen, man.
God.
The first fight he had over there, man, he looked good, bro.
Oh no, he's look. Austin Trout is like 4-5-0 in Big KFC. He's looked phenomenal. Jamal Herring, undefeated. He's a champion now in BKFC. But golly, Austin Trout went out bad. I mean, block up. Woo.
I'm gonna have to go watch. I'm gonna find it to watch.
It was bad.
Damn, Trout.
He fought Diego Sanchez, an ex-UFC guy, and pieced him up the first fight. Then he started fighting their fighters, and he's body fake. He's schooling these guys.
Yeah.
But this dude's power. And the dude was like, I'm from England, and the day before America's liberation, we're still on top. I was like, boy, dog.
Oh, man. Good one. Hey, I've been seeing a lot of comments like that out here recently. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man. You know what I figured out yesterday?
What's up?
So I'm gonna say this because. So yesterday, we went over to our friend's house, our local friend's house. They had a pool and stuff, and they got a couple of brothers, and they married some people, and we had a barbecue, right? What we did was have a barbecue at one of our people's houses who has a pool in, and all our kids was in the pool just swimming, and the little boys went out to go play football together, and they're culinary chefs is what they are. You understand me?
Oh, nice.
So we're talking about some brisket that was smoked for X amount of hours, some barbecue sauce that was handmade from scratch. You know what I'm saying? No pork in the in any of the mac and cheese, the green beans with the turkey in it. You know what I'm saying? The brisket, if you took a fork and tried to get a piece of brisket, you would end up with a little strand because it just fell apart. You get what I'm saying?
Man,
and then and the wifey, she made this like a dessert that was. So what happened is they got to arguing, right? And the results of the argument, it wasn't nobody shooting no brother. It was, we're going to have a cookout. We're going to see what's up there. And then it was, what the problem is? The people don't get an opportunity to go and experience that meat part, Paul.
Ooh.
And it's just a good time. Was had. You understand what I'm saying? And when nobody think about no 4th of July, bro, that food was good. And the way them kids was swimming, man, we might mess around and have. You know what I'm saying? I know people thought Michael Phelps was the best swimmer ever, but the fastest swimmer in America was black. And he ain't been black. You know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to know that a good time was had yesterday, and it wasn't about flags or nothing. It was about eating good and having good family time. So I understand why people are mad at us, because we just figured out how to have a good time during bad situations and circumstances. You understand?
And another good time is the brother from the USA soccer team. They took that red card away, so he'll be playing tomorrow.
Good,
because maybe he'll be playing tomorrow.
Oh, we should have been having a conversation about that because I barely have missed any of the World Cup, and I see what these judges been doing. I just seen some teams that wasn't supposed to be there that was whooping up on some people, and then some strange things started happening, like some fouls got missed, some goals were taken away and stuff like that. Y'all better get it while you can now, because I promise you, this is really the first generation, and they're realizing they can go back home and play for their home teams.
Yep,
it's over.
So it's a wrap.
You understand what I'm saying? It is over. They're going back home, and they're going to teach them how to properly hydrate, how to have a good diet, how to exercise, and make sure you keep your stamina up. And yeah, you guys are real good at passing because you've been passing to each other for 10 years. But these new ones that's coming, you can hang it up.
And you look at Freeman from Team USA, who had that amazing kick, that goal. His dad is Antonio Freeman, the ex-wide receiver of the Packers. Shout out to the Hokies. He's Virginia Tech. So it's one of those things where a lot of our athletes, obviously we play basketball, football, soccer is usually on the back burner from our generation. But now this newer generation of athletes, soccer's gone up a notch when it comes to the pecking order of sports as a youth. So you're going to see a lot better American athletes playing soccer in the next few, probably 5-6 years. So
don't let us get into rugby. The blacks from New Zealand.
Oh, the black shirts, yeah.
Good. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna give you all the credit you want. There's a lot of Pacific Islanders in the NFL. A lot of Samoans are in the NFL. Y'all buddies, y'all thinking good like that. Pause. But if we get into rugby, you can hang that one up too, fam. I
See, the thing
promise
about
you.
the rugby though, like I respect rugby, and it's a great sport. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but majority of rugby players that come over, besides a few, they're all kickers in the NFL. They're not
Mhm.
really. You have Jared Hyde, who played for the Niners, who's a running back. I believe he's got arrested for beating up on women. I could be wrong,
Oh,
allegedly,
damn.
but he's probably in jail right now in Australia or New Zealand. But he tried to be a running back. So
Yeah.
I never they talk trash about American football, but none of them have ever come over and done this thing. Only one with a rugby background that's done well, but he's American,
Mm.
Halode Nada, who the Ravens drafted and who was a beast, amazing defensive tackle. But majority of those guys, until one of the professionals come over here and do something, man, whatever. Don't talk down on American football, okay? They come over as kickers, but
Yeah,
respectfully.
that's true. That is true.
Respectfully.
Yeah, that's true.
But
But you-
I'll say this, but so tomorrow, I think when we interview you, America just probably playing Belgium, and they're already hating about that red card getting taken away. But shout out to Team USA in soccer. I'm not a big soccer guy. I will never claim to be one, but I will support and watch. I like seeing, I like the underdog winning. I would like to see a country like Cape Verde, how they did their thing.
Mhm.
And these other smaller countries that are keeping their homegrown talent instead of being cycled out to France, Italy, wherever.
Yeah,
They're going back and playing for their country, and I think that's phenomenal.
yeah.
Shout out to everybody at World Cup.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm telling you, listen, man, the only bad game we had in the USA soccer was when they took all them brothers off the front line.
Yeah.
That's when we had it. The bad time was had when that happened. Only
Hmm.
when that happened. So we know what it is. Hey, if you want to win, put us in. I promise you. That's it. You see, hey, I promise you, man. I've been watching the soccer thing. All them people on them front lines of these soccer teams that are from Europe, them brothers have come from somewhere deep, deep in the heart of the motherland, and they speed kills.
Yeah. And you know what
Period.
else kills? I was watching the France game yesterday. Sorry for all you boxing folks. We're getting on a World Cup tip right now. Um,
Yeah.
when I was watching the France and Paraguay,
Uh-huh.
Paraguay, I was watching
Paraguay.
that yesterday. Every time I give soccer a chance, I am tired of the excessive flopping. I saw a
No, and
dude
go
on
with the sport.
Paraguay writhe on the ground. Look at the ref
Yes.
writhe like
Yeah.
like he got shot by Lee Harvey Oswald out in the
Yes,
bushes or
sir.
somewhere. Didn't get the flag that he wanted on the other dude and got up like shit was sweet. Y'all got
Yeah,
to get that
bro.
about the game. Get that
Hey,
about the game, man. Get that out of there. I'm sorry, I
hey.
can't.
Somebody said LeBron James should have played soccer. Flop James. You man, bro. If you want to give an Oscar, man,
Jesus
everybody that
Christ.
get hurt. My wife, I was like, babe, you see what's going on? I was like, man, these dudes be acting like nobody's. You would think these people was getting ready to get carried off in a stretcher
It's
off of
always
every time they get hit. And
why?
then
Why?
I seen dudes get thrown down, punched in the head,
Yeah.
get a flag, and then they argue with the ref like I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Who taught you that? Like you see, we can see this, right? We saw you run up and kick him in his. We saw you kick him in his chest. We saw you grab by his throat, throw him down, and then
Mhm.
you went to the referee and say you didn't do it. We can see you, right?
You sneeze on
Like,
that guy, and it's like
yeah,
and like another thing with the soccer guys I'm petty like this. If I'm about to pick the ball up, pause, and you kick it away or
oh,
or
it's a
try to be
problem.
some, I'm gonna give you one of these. Like
Yeah, it's a problem.
they do that stuff all the time. Or they're mad at a call, so a guy gets the ball, they'll kick it away from him. Oh, I'm gonna steal you in the face. Like, why would you do that? Like, don't do that. Soccer.
I,
I'm just growing on me. I respect the sport. Trust me, but it's just things like that is why I can't say when someone goes, "Oh, I like this better than NFL." Why? I,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I get it. Maybe because you're from there, I get that aspect. But the whole crying and flopping, man, y'all gotta get that out the sport. Please
Every
get it out the
place
sport.
somebody rolling around the ground talking
Yeah,
like, I just seen some serious head clash too. Hey, y'all might want to consider putting some pad. Y'all should go with the NFL used to have like a pillow or something there.
yeah, them Guardian helmets. Yeah,
Yeah, like the one that you in wrestling. Y'all might want to consider putting some of that on because I seen some dents happen. I was like, man,
And shout out to the goalies, man. The goalies, man. The more I watch, the more I respect the goalie. It's probably my favorite position because you have to weed through all that and track
yeah,
that ball, pause, and see where it's coming, and you make sure you block it and put your body on the line. And me coming from bicep and shoulder surgery, the way them dudes are laying out and falling on their man, I'm sitting like,
yeah. I
I'm sitting
understand.
screaming,
Same
you
way.
know. I'm the goalie for Paraguay. He blocked, I guess, the most blocks in I guess at the moment right now they're out now, but shout out to the goalies. But that is, man, that's tough right there. But yes,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll probably
The
talk about
soccer's
this
cool, bro.
tomorrow when you interview because that'll be right after USA and Belgium game. I think they're at 6:30, so we get on at 8. They'll be wrapping it up around that time. So we'll definitely rap about this, or I have a TV on the side of my phone watching that joint.
Oh yeah, I do. I've been loving every minute of it. But like I said, I just seen some foul stuff happening, and like I said, we can see y'all. Y'all act like we're in the age where we can record that and go to YouTube and sit down and talk about it play by play. You see how this dude ran up in front of the referee and pushed the dude down, and the referee looked at him and didn't call a foul, but he went over there and called a foul over there. We could do that now. Yeah. Should, hey, y'all better get your stuff together because we're not dealing with corruption the same way that we used to. So get something together.
I don't know. You was reading my mind right there because you're talking about foul play and corruption.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Haney going against Gervonta Tate Davis.
Yeah.
Al Heyman, PBC. I don't understand how y'all do business. Okay. Gervonta Tate Davis. You presented Devin what I think was it a 70, 75, 25 or something like that split or whatever, something ridiculous. And then there's no guaranteed money. Devin will get paid after $9 million was already made. So they have to make, by promoting their fights themselves, they have to make $9 million, then they get paid after that. Which is just ridiculous. That's kind of like similar to the Rolly deal that they tried to do to the Haneys. And then their counter offer was 15 mil guaranteed for Tank, 15 mil guaranteed for Devin, 55 for Tank, 45 for Haney. And, they split the pay-per-view revenue. And Tank was like, hell no, y'all don't know how to, kind of shun that deal away. And Bill Haney and Devin are both like, you got a lot to learn about business, Tank. You got a lot to learn. So that's my issue with Tank right now. I'm a semi-Tank fan. I just wish he fight some people, but if someone's giving you a good offer for you to fight somebody, step up and fight a big name, take it, okay? Because your last time we saw you took a Heisman because the Jericho juice got in your eye. So I need my Tank fans to tell me why we should be checking in on this guy. Do you think this fight will ever happen?
At this point, I don't think Devin needs Tank in order to get a payday. I think that Devin has had a type of career, whereas, he went to Mexico and turned pro early and got fights in and just really, really grinded in a different sort of way to get to the point that he got to, right? So he grinded in such a way, whereas he became a good businessman. He understood how to make money. He learned the process of negotiating, and they sort of kind of did it a little bit publicly. Plus, they put it online for us to be able to see how that was happening. And simultaneously, the fan base grew, which means the hater base also grew simultaneously with it, right? So we got to see all this stuff happen in person, whereas this person is really, we never seen somebody have to go to Australia 2 times and take less money and do X, Y, and Z to get a belt. And, if you don't fight such and such, we're going to strip you of your belt and blah, blah, blah. Even though you made the zone what it was, we remember those things. So, and another person didn't have to go through those same things. That other person has never worked a job in their life, from what I heard. They've been boxing since they was 5. So where was the education at? Where was the, hey, let's have an economics class and talk about how to invest money in the stock market, how to take some money from here and put it to there and, get rental properties, how to negotiate contracts and merchandising deals and things like that, and how to actually get a percentage of the alcohol sales that are going to be in the venue. Who's teaching them that stuff, right? Like
Everyone knows it.
Did he know that he could go and negotiate with Budweiser? Did he know that, DraftKings, who's putting their names on the ropes and stuff like that, are giving up a substantial amount of money, and you could probably get a piece of that if you know how to negotiate? See, who's teaching these people that? Like, those things need to be covered. That's why I said there needs to be a boxing academy. So things like that would be covered, and you won't have to look like a fool in the public eye because people that know how to do something hadn't, you guys haven't had a conversation. That's and true. You ain't building together. So you guys need to build together. You gotta teach each one, teach one, something like that. You gotta do that. You gotta show these guys how to do those things. And fortunately, not everybody's on that same sort of thinking field when it comes to making money and running the business and doing XYZ. So I don't know, man. I think the business side of the game, maybe it needs to be explored a bit more. And that's another reason why I got a problem with changing the Ali Act. So what happens when you can't find out that DraftKings gave $2 million, FanDuels gave $10 million, Bud Light gave $10 million for the sales. Oh, and there was a $27 million gate, and you're supposed to make a percentage of something, but you don't know what the number is because they don't have to tell you anymore.
Yeah,
right. So how are you supposed to negotiate for something you don't know what's there?
That actually happened with the Garcia and Haney fight, where both Garcia and Haney were like pissed at Golden Boy, like, we don't see the numbers, like what was made. So that's a big problem in boxing, and they got to fix that some way, shape, or form. Because there's a lot of money out there that the fighters aren't getting, and now the promoters are putting it on the fighters to promote the fight. But if you're the promoter, what the hell are you doing? It says promoter in your name. So me as a fighter, I worry about training, putting on a good performance. You should be worried about promoting this fight and make sure people get asses in seats. So I'm not too sure, what's going on that end. But I
so let's say you got a pay-per-view that's selling for $59.99, right? And you get a million viewers. Ooh. That's approximately that's 59, almost $60 million right there, right? So if you don't know that there was a $60 million slush fund that you should be getting, 7% of, 9% of, or if you're a real big superstar, you really bringing them in, 25% of, you're supposed to be getting paid, man. You getting your head punched on. You know what I mean? Like you're providing entertainment for people who are not getting their head punched on, and you're supposed to get some of that money. And you promoters, y'all need to be better about this stuff, man, because this ain't right, bro. Y'all got these fighters out here doing X, Y, and Z, and y'all keeping all the bread.
Allegedly, I've heard stories of PBC fighters driving Ubers and still getting paid years after their actual fight. So that's
on that payment plan. They put them on that afterpay Klarna. They got them afterpay Klarna contracts. Motherfucker get, hey, you make $10 million, but I'm gonna give you $70,000 a year until we get to the $10 million. Yeah, I know you want to get the big change and stuff, but you're gonna have to rent those. You're gonna have to wear the fake stuff until this contract actually pays off, buddy.
But hey, look here, brother. I got $45 on this Wegmans gift card. Okay, use that, but use that before July. Then I got another $50 on this Best Buy card. You got to use that before December. Okay, and use it after December. That's what you.
Hey, Daddy, hey, listen, man, I've been wanting to get my mama a house all my life, man. Can you please let me get some of that money that I made you so I can get mama a house? You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, if I get your mama that house, right, I'm going to need you to take at least 2 more fights, but you can only do 1 a year every other year.
That's the Earl Spence plan right there, allegedly.
Man, it's a cold game. It's a cold game, man.
We're gonna wrap this up because I'm about to go watch this World Cup. I think we got Mexico going against England. Brazil's on right now. They're probably winning. So
Oh, it's gonna get filthy in that. They're gonna be like, "Hey, y'all know Spain came over here and taught you your language, right?"
Oh, Argentina. That
Foul,
Argentina. You know,
foul
that's
him.
that they be rocking with. You know, I'm. You
They'll
know,
foul him.
foul is stupid. Hey, I'll be back next week. I'm gonna see if the fellas want to join me, but I'll definitely be talking about Conor McGregor making his return to the UFC against his rematch with damn, who was he fighting? Holloway. Yeah, he's fighting Holloway. And I might do a quick little short about who's gonna win or lose that whole card, but you know, I'm going Max Holloway all the way. Last time we saw Conor, he done broke his leg against Dustin Poirier, who needs to stop drinking at airports. That's another story we'll talk about too. But yeah, any closing words there?
Look, y'all. Hey, y'all know I'd love to try to leave a heartfelt message if I can. I found some inspiration today. I see that there's a typhoon that, I mean, it is, you know, we're probably talking, they're going to be having bands of 200-mile-per-hour winds for about 12 hours. It's Guam. It's one of our territories. We have an Air Force base there. You know, we have a lot of people out there in the Pacific, and they are about to get hit dead on with this. The eye wall's bigger than all those islands put together. And they're going to be in that eye wall for, hours and hours. So there's another catastrophe on the way. You guys, try to reach out. If you got friends that are, out there or stationed out there, reach out, tell them, pray for them, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? If you got to burn some type of vegetables or something, make the air stank, do whatever it is you do it. You know what I'm saying? And let's pray for these people and, just have a heart. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where we sit with these things. Try to have a heart.
Yeah, you got to have a heart, and you got to feel for people that are less fortunate or having certain tragedies happen to them that they can't control. So definitely, once they make it available to give out money or whatever, if you feel, in the giving, I guess, realm, please do it and help those people out. Prayers for Guam. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll be back tomorrow to interview Jeffrey the Fly U. We'll have our man Josh as well from A6 Boxing. Shout out to him. Yeah, it's another fun show. Black to Boxing. All right.
Yeah.
Now, peace.